All right, guys, good morning. Let's start looking at division. We're going to go right down to the beginnings. I've got 6 things and I would like to divide them by 3 people. So I'm doing 6 divided by 3, which gives me 2 for each person. Okay, so I can write that as a horizontal sum. 6. Ooh. It says 6 per person, 2 per person. All right, I can write that as a horizontal sum, so 6 divided by 3 equals 2. I'll put my symbols in. So my divided by symbol and my equal sign. That's a horizontal way of writing it. You can also reverse that and do 6 divided by 2, which equals 3. Less people, more chocolate. Very good. All right. So let's just rub that out. But let's look at the terminology for division. Okay? So if I take my horizontal sum again, 6 divided by 3 equals 2, there's some language we need to know in this. So the 3 is called the divisor. And the divisor is what are you dividing by? So in this case, 3 people. Okay, that's called the divisor. And the 2 in this sum is called the quotient. Excellent word. But the quotient means the answer, or what does each of the divisors get. So divisor and quotient are 2 words you're going to need to know for division. Okay, rubbing that out, let's keep going. So as I said before, there are 2 ways that you can write a division sum. The first way you can write it is called a horizontal way, which is what I've shown you before. So the horizontal way is literally just across your screen from left to right. Okay, and let's look at that sum again. It would look like this. You've seen it before. Okay. The other way to write it is vertically. And that looks like this. Same sum, just written differently. There's your divisor, and your quotient is 2. Okay. Let's go back to our horizontal sums for a second, and let's look at what happens if we add 2 digits to the 1-digit divisor. Because remember that division is the opposite of multiplication, and we can use that, our multiplication tables, to help us solve a lot of the division sums. So if I'm thinking of using a divisor of 6, I can go down my 6 times tables and remember that 6 times 11 is 66. So therefore my quotient in this sum would be 11. Yay! If I was to write that as a horizontal sum, it would look like this. So my divisor is 6. My quotient is still 11, but that's written on the top. And of course, I've used my 6 times tables to help me answer that. So, yay. All right, let's rub all this out. What happens when it doesn't divide evenly? We get these things called remainders. Let's have a look at some remainders now. There's 4 symbols for this process, and if you can remember these, you are set to do any form of division in a vertical way. Okay, so let's write a sum down. We're going to do 68 with a divisor of 6, and let's work it through. We'll do it step by step. Okay, so first of all we do 6 divided by 6 and we get 1. Then we multiply that, so we go 6 times 1 is 6. We subtract, we get 0, we bring the 8 down. Hopefully you can see on the right hand side that I'm colouring as I'm going. And then we do 8 divided by 6, which gets us 1 with a remainder. Let's find this out. 6 times 1 is 6. Subtract the 6 from the 8, and you get 2. Now there's different ways you can write a remainder. You can just put the little r symbol and write 2, or carefully rub this out without rubbing anything else out. Oh, skills. You can also do it as a fraction, so 2/6, which you can simplify to 1/3 if you want. Or you could write it as a decimal, and I'll show you how to do that now. So to write it as a decimal, you need to put a decimal point in. Let's change the colour. There we go. I've had that colour already. Let's try a different colour. Yep, that's better. Put our 0, and we start again. Bring that down. Sorry, finish that one off. Now we start again. So 6 into 20, or 20 divided by 6 is 2, using my 6 times tables, so multiply. 6 times 2 is 18. Subtract. And I get 2. Most times in school you'll only be asked to do it to 2 decimal places, so we will leave it there. But you can keep going if you want to.